What's up, everybody? So the next sign I want to go through in the IC is a Cancer IC, and if you have this, that means Cancer rules your fourth house. And I will go through what that means. So just as a reminder, Cancer is the sign of the mother. It rules, it has to do with family, with tradition, with nurturing, and really with more so with our upbringing, our history, our genealogy, all of that. So it's very connected to our family and our ancestry, which I'll go into in the video. Every house is ruled by a certain sign. The fourth house happens to be ruled by Cancer. It doesn't mean you get off easy if you have a fourth house in Cancer. It just means that it is way more pronounced, and like your home life will be way more pronounced. I want to start with family though. So if you have a Cancer IC, for better or for worse, you are very, very connected to your family in a positive or negative way. So your family is very close knit or tight knit, and it's very like the bonds are very close in your family, for better or for worse. And one thing I can think about is the movie Coco. So Miguel would probably have a Cancer IC because he's so connected to his family and traditions. So your family, carries with it certain traditions. And these traditions can, they can be really great, or they can, feel like they're dragging you down as well. So like the bucket of crabs analogy really applies to this, where like you could be the crab trying to get out, but the other crabs are pulling you down. And Miguel, feels like that other crab that they're trying to pull him down. He wants to play music, they want him to make shoes. So there can be a clash here of traditions that you want versus traditions that the family has always had. So in this way, your family can be very suffocating. And where this happens the most is through, like, ironically, through nurturing. So, when we think of nurturing, it's like, it's really the ability to care for something and, through its development. And in a home like this, one way that you get nurtured is through food. So food would be very important in a Cancer IC's home. And either your mom was a really good cook, your dad was a really good cook, your grandma, your grandpa, your aunts, uncles, maybe all of them. But food was really, really a centerpiece that brought everyone together. So in this type of home, you were always around your family. They could live on the same block as you. They could live like very near you, but like, a lot of us get together with our family on holidays and then we never see them, throughout the year. Not with this placement. You would have, family gatherings every Sunday, or every month, or whatever it is, but like the frequency of them becomes very high. And as a result, like, you're having the same types of foods. So like, just imagine what your ethnicity is. Like, you would have those types of foods in your home all the time. Now, a lot of the time this doesn't come across as like normal, and especially like as you get out into the world, not everyone's eating spaghetti and meatballs every single Sunday. They're eating other things. And so like you could feel kind of like an outcast or like a weirdo because like your family eats all these unique things. And that, happens sometimes. So you could resent the fact that like your family is so traditional and they, make the same foods all the time, and these recipes have been handed down from generation to generation, and you will receive it one day. Or like you will receive, the knowledge that your ancestors have given you through these generations. You could be resentful of that. So like Moana 2 is an example of a character that could be a Cancer IC because of the tight-knit, suffocating nature of the community. Now, as a result of this, what happens or tends to happen early on in childhood is that, there's an over-nurturing that happens. There's like a mother bird feeling of you are always taken care of. So, you as a baby bird are opening your mouth and like you're just being fed. You don't have to do your laundry. You don't have to, even think that much. Everything is kind of done for you. You don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. You don't have to do laundry. Like all of this stuff is, it's done for you. And so you get this reputation, unfortunately, of not being able to stand on your own 2 feet. That creates a little chip on your shoulder, though, that I'll get into with where you need to then go with Capricorn at the opposite of this sign. But this can feel like, even like your emotions, you weren't allowed to maybe express those, or like everyone else was very emotional around you all the time, and like there wasn't enough time for your emotions. Or like if you started to get sad or you started to get mad, you were just given something to pacify you. So it could literally be a pacifier, but it could also be, oh, have this drink, oh, have this food, oh, have this toy. And like you never really like deal with your own emotions, you never deal with your own demons, you never deal with anything that is really creating the emotional problem. And so like Cancer is a sign of emotion as well, like a very intuitive emotional presence wherever it is in the chart. And it's important later in life to then develop this. So as you get older and you have this reputation of like, oh yeah, he can't stand on his own 2 feet, or she can't stand on her own 2 feet, they can't do anything, like you start to like buck against that, and you're just like, wait a minute, I'm going to show you that I'm much more different than you think I am. And so like then we go up to Capricorn at the MC. And so this person makes it their mission and their job to stand on their own 2 feet with no help, no assistance, no suffocation, no strings attached. So where Cancer is very like, just think of a crab's claws. Like when a crab holds on to you, they will not let go. So, your family, your traditions are doing the same thing, and you have to pull away from that and, set up your own life. And it's really interesting, the celebrities who have this placement, they are hardened individuals and they're badasses. So like, I was reading this earlier, but Rihanna has this, MLK, like Martin Luther King Jr., David Beckham, Cardi B, Shakira, like Mariah Carey. When you think of all these celebrities, like you just see self-sufficiency, you see like confidence, you see like strength. All of them have that. But deep, within them is like this very sensitive person, but they will not show that. So like when you have a Capricorn MC, the tendency will be like you become so self-sufficient. You become so disciplined and hardened that you cut everything else away. So like there are movies based on this where, you have a character who may be a CEO or they're a businessman or they're successful in some sort of way. And then they have to go home to their family and they don't want to, because they know that what they experienced during childhood is what they've tried to push away from their whole life to become this other type of person. But the danger here is that you become so self-sufficient that you cut off your family entirely. So people like this will not speak to their family for like years, 5, 10, 20, 30 years, like even more, that you just don't see anyone because you don't want to be associated with like the embarrassment growing up or the feelings of it. Like you just want to be your own person and have your own life. So what you want to do to like kind of bring these two together is really figure out how to nurture yourself as an adult. So once you figure that out and, admit if there were certain traditions and customs in your life growing up that you miss, that you like, that you miss your mom's cooking, that you miss having conversations with your dad about, whatever, that you miss seeing your grandparents, that you miss your cousins or, whoever. But it's important to notice like, okay, what do I want to nurture in myself now? and what nurtured me back then as well. Like, what did bring me some sort of fulfillment? And, knowing that your family might not agree with what nurtures you now and the traditions you do now, but that it's okay to bring them back into your household, but, not really expecting whether or not they're going to be received well or not, because they might not be. With someone with a cancer I see, their family is very rooted in their tradition, not new outside traditions, their tradition. So you have to, be okay with someone not agreeing with, what your life is now. But it's important to then, create a space for yourself where you are embedding those traditions and those structures and everything. And you probably have. Like, if you have this, you have set up a life that is yours. It is yours. They're your rules. They're your structures. They're like, but you don't want to become too controlling, because that's a dark side of Capricorn and Cancer, in different ways. Like Cancer in a motherly way, Capricorn in more of a fatherly, protective way. But like, you want to ease up on that of like, okay, this is my life, but this is my family and this is where I come from, and I need to respect that as well. And, maybe you don't. But like, what could potentially like help you is that nurturing aspect of like, okay, how do I want to nurture myself as an adult? What type of food do I want? What type of environment do I want to have? What music do I want to listen to? What movies do I want to watch? What books do I want to read? Where do I want to travel? Who do I want to marry? What type of family do I want? If your parents never traveled, or your family never traveled because like your mom was afraid of going on a cruise ship, or your dad was afraid of flying, or he didn't like nature, something like that, then it's like, I don't want that. I want to have a family where we go on flights and we go to Japan and we go to, Southeast Asia, and we go to Europe, and we go to all these places because they mean something to me. So it's important to develop your own traditions around family as well. And, if you then go back and you get into an argument with your parents, just having a little bit of compassion on them and being like, okay, you know what? That's your life. This is my life. Neither's right nor wrong, but this is what you agree with. This is what I agree with. And, standing your ground and showing that you can stand on your own 2 feet now, not in like a ruthless, cold sort of way, but in a way that's like, I hear you, I hear me, and, we're both right in a sense. Hopefully this video was enjoyable. We are going to do Leo next, and let me know in the comments what I see you have, and which one you would like to see. Okay, that's all I got for you today. Take care. Peace.